How important is Midah Keneged Midah in the Torah Kedusha? So there's a very big question. We're in Pesach right now. Soon is going to be a very powerful night. And it bothers me a little bit that we don't take advantage of these days because we always ask for Segulot, Petechat Echa, Brachot, but these days, that we have these 49 days. Let's see him by it from now on. These 49 days is such powerful brachot and segulot in them. It's unbelievable. What the Omer does, what the bracha is, the et ratzon. I'm telling you, I myself, if I don't do anything, I wouldn't tell you guys. These days of the Omer are so powerful, it's unbelievable. You just pay attention how we have 49 days of mitzvah midoraita, according to most Rishonim, to say a bracha, and to say the day of the Omer, to count. What are we counting for? Getting
the Torah.
It's more than getting the Torah. The Gemara says in Avodah Zarah, Daf Dalet, it says over there, Masechet Avodah Zarah, Paska zo hamatan. What's Paska zo hamatan? When Adam HaRishon ate from Etz Hadat, which, by the way, Etz Hadat was a different plane of existence. Why? It was in this world, but this world was different. How? How do we know this? If Adam HaRishon's skin, how do we say skin in Hebrew? Or, with the ayin. But when he made the sin, before that, he was or with an aleph. That means everything was in a higher plane of existence. That means it wasn't just that Adam HaRishon affected himself. If he affected himself, he affected everyone and everything inside the existence. Adam HaRishon didn't just name the animals. He said to a giraffe, giraffe in Hebrew is a zemer. A giraffe, a lion, aryeh. Whatever the case is, everything. He also named the wood. He said, this is Etz Tidhar, this is Etz Lebanon, this is Etz...
All the vocabulary.
All the vocabulary. In 2 hours. In 2 hours, he named the whole existence. Because everything was in the Gan Eden. So the Mekubalim ask a question. What was his sin? Okay, so he ate from a tree.
He went against the one commandment.
But let's understand, what tree?
The tree of knowledge.
So some say it was a grape, vines. Not even a tree, it was vines.
It was fig.
Some say it was a te'ina. Some say it was egoz. Walnut. Etrog. Some say that's why the women have to eat the etrog at the end of Sukkot. They should have a good. Some say mango, first one. Some say all this kind of. Now I want to ask you a question. What the Chachamim want to make chas v'shalom a joke out of themselves? I'm an Amaretz, let's say. I am an Amaretz. I open up a Gemara and I hear Rabbi Yehuda Omer, it's Giffen. This one says, now I'm learning the Gemara for the first time. Like, what are these rabbis can't make up their mind? Are Jews that divided within themselves? Like, come on, you're teaching something. Make up your mind. Don't make a joke out of yourself. Rabbi Shimon Agassi explains there was no tree. There was no skin. That's also a mashal. The whole story Rabbi Shimon Agassi explains is all about the zivug.
What does that mean?
The zivug is he was with his wife and they're not the right to him. That was the whole zivug. That was the whole story. He was with his wife. She's the Etz Hadat. Chava was the Etz Hadat.
First time I hear it. Wow.
And I'm teaching you now deep. It's Louis Royer, by the way. I'm teaching you right now deep things. The Etz Hadat was Chava herself. Wow. What does it mean that the snake came to her and said, "Go and eat from the tree," and she touched the tree?
She touched him.
The Gemara says one thing a woman cannot tell her husband. If she does, it's called Bnei Chatzufa. Bnei Chatzufa is Avera.
What is that? Her weight?
He cannot tell. She cannot tell him. She cannot tell him. Let's
do the deed.
Let's do the mitzvah.
Do it dirty.
Yeah, you can't say that. She can't say that.
Let's get busy.
That's what the snake told her to touch. That's what she told her. She can't say that.
But she did say that. I thought the ketubah
Student, huh? No. You're saying what you're saying is something else. What I'm saying is something else. When you're gonna get married to Hashem, you call me up.
So she
she said to him by giving him. What does it mean? She gave him the wine. When does a guy want it most?
When
When he's a bit on the dark side, you know what I'm saying?
Money,
He's a bit on the dark side, you know what I'm saying? That's when. That's why at Purim, the wives have to, take it easy. Go to sleep. That's why what does it mean she gave him the cup of wine? That's why the Chachamim say, when did the tzaddikim were with their wives? On Shabbat.
Wow.
On Shabbat they were with their wives. On Shabbat, that was when they were supposed to be together. What happened? She had Cain. Cain was supposed to be Yaakov Avinu. He was supposed to be. By the way, David HaMelech is a Gilgul of Cain. The Ari HaKadosh in Shar Gilgulim says David HaMelech was Cain. He was red. He was short, by the way. He was very short. He had beautiful eyes. He was somebody that you would think the last. If you would pick somebody, Shaul HaMelech on their hand. Tallest above. When I say tallest, the Navi says, hey, he was a head above everyone. I think. Now, but the beautiful thing, Rashi says, when Goliath first fought Am Yisrael, Shaul was still a soldier. He's still a soldier. The Eli was the last shofet. He had two sons, Chofni and Pinchas. The Gemara says one or the other, one avera or the other. One said they used to eat a korban before the person used to give it to the Kohen. What does that mean? I would bring a korban out. What do I have to give to the Kohen? The breast and the juicy part. White meat and dark meat. You gotta give both of them to them. And understand? They used to come take it from them before they would even give it to them. What if I have a nice Bukharian Kohen I want to give it to, and over here Ashkenazi Kohen, I don't want to give it to him, I want to give it to the Bukharian Kohen. We're chesh over here. I want to give it to him. Yeah, you're allowed to, by the way. You're allowed to pick and choose. You don't have to give it but they used to come b'choska. B'choska means b'kol is to come in the fourth day. That's one opinion. That's the clean opinion. The other opinion was they used to do siso v'simcho in the Mishkan over there. They used to, I don't want to get into it right now, they were tzaddikim. We have to understand what that Manda Amr the Gemara says. They would do stuff that weren't so kosher. Hashem told Shmuel, who was the student of Eli, not Eli, but a student of, not Eli, Eli with an ayin. I know one person who was born like that, by the way. His name is Eli. Eli, yeah, I know one from a student's brother. Hashem should send him refuah shalema. Amen. This Eli, he was a tzaddik. Shmuel HaNavi was 3 years old. 3 years old. His mama made him a jomeh. Male. He grew up with this jomeh. Like, in the desert, the clothes grew with them. Like this. It was a miracle. His clothes grew with him. One day he's sleeping in the Mishkan, and he hears somebody saying, Shmuel, Shmuel. He gets up. He hears his Rebbe's voice. Why? When prophecy first comes to you, God doesn't want to scare you. So he talks to you in your Rebbe's voice. Somebody who soothes you. He's saying, Shmuel, Shmuel. He wakes up, he goes to his Rebbe. They were sleeping in the Mishkan. Hashem is speaking to him. He's Nivuah, real Nivuah. Yeah, beat you. So he comes and says, Rebbe, you called me? And he says, they used to drink Nesachim. Wine over there. Over there. Go back to sleep. He was a Levi. No, Shmuel was a Levi. Goes back to sleep. Again. Shmuel. He wakes up, goes to his Rebbe. He says, you called me? He already understood. Hashem is calling to him. He didn't say he's a guy. Is that Chazakah? Some say Chazakah is twice. He says when you're going to hear the voice again, say, Hashem, I'm here. Talk to me. Talk to me. Aneni, exactly. He says, talk to me. He wakes up. What does God tell him? Tell your Rebbe, his 2 kids, Chas v'Shalom, in the war, Kaddish al Israel. They're going to go. Shmuel wakes up the next morning. He's scared. How he's going to tell his Rebbe, who's a shofet. You know what the shofet was? If you take all the Gdolei Ador, of Eliasher, of Adi Yosef, Ben Ishchai, Rabbi Yudaftai, put them all together in one person, wouldn't even reach the sleeve of a shofet. One shofet. Eli says, my son, shofet was the judges. The judges. He says to him, My son, tell me what the Nivuah told you. He said, I'm afraid to tell you. I'm afraid to tell you. He says, don't worry. Say, if Hashem told you what, I'm going to be upset at you. Because before, Eli wanted to kill Shmuel. Why? Because he said a halacha in front of his Rebbe. You're not allowed to say a halacha in front of your Rebbe. If you say a halacha in front of your Rebbe,
Correct.
you have to have karet.
Karet.
Worse than karet. Worse than karet.
You mean the
Chayav mita. He's
That's not
chayav
karet.
mita.
That's not worse than karet.
Karet is a person dies before 50.
That's
And
worse.
he's cut off from the
And
Yeah.
no. That's dies before 50. Because he dies before 50, he was cut off in his shores at that moment.
He's
Yeah.
cut off here.
But he's cut off, but he's reconnected. But that
Over there.
cut off causes him to die early. That's what karet
But
means.
this is not worse. This
No,
is
this
you
is
get-
worse,
Your
because-
sin gets expedited here.
No,
but
because
you get killed for
because
it.
you're hurting someone else.
You're
That's why it was you're hurting the Rebbe. You're hurting. But these Rebbes, I'm not talking like Rebbes of today. Those Rebbes are, one of the these Rebbes that you learn most of your Torah from. Those are the Rebbes I'm talking
So,
about.
the Shoftim.
Exactly, the Shoftim. Eli used to have all of Klal Yisrael. There was no Mishnah, Gemara back then. You want to know Torah?
Go to the
You go to the Rebbe. You had a question, you went to the Rebbe. If he had WhatsApp back then, every single second, ding, 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 what happened over there? But also, Klal Yisrael back then was very sharp. In the time of Chizkiyahu HaMelech, which is almost 30 generations after Eli, 30 generations,
Wow.
almost, a baby would know halachot of Tumah v'Tahara better than all of us know on this table right now. Tumah, do you know what Tumah v'Tahara is? We started learning that in Pesachim. Anyways, let's go back. So he tells his Rebbe that Hashem told me that in the war coming, both of your sons are going to pass away. Eli said, listen, Hashem natan, Hashem lakach. Hashem said it's going to be. It's going to be. They went to war. Be'emet, they went to war. One of the sons, Chofni's sons, I think it was Chofni, the older one, his wife was pregnant. She was pregnant. They go to the war. Goliath was there. This is before David HaMelech went into a war. Goliath was there. Goliath came. He sees the Aron HaKodesh. Back then, when they go to a war, they take the Aron HaKodesh with them. Like we have in the shul, Aron HaKodesh, Sefer Torah. They used to take it with them to the war. Why? Goyim used to see it. They used to go, they used to get scared. They used to run away. Goliath comes. He was a Rasha Merusha. He's David HaMelech's cousin. David HaMelech's cousin. They're cousins, yeah. Orpah and Ruth are sisters. And Orpah's son is Goliath. Ruth's grandson is David. He saw the Aaron. He says, if I want to defeat them, if I want to defeat him, I got to take the Aaron HaKodesh. He comes inside like a lion. Goliath, he's 14 feet tall. 14 feet.
David was short.
David was short, but he wasn't even there. He wasn't even born yet. He was a kid. So he comes inside, takes the Aron HaKodesh. Shaul sees this. Shaul HaMelech.
King.
Who's gonna be the king. He's gonna be the... He says, I have two choices. Either I'm gonna fight Goliath right now, I might lose, or I open the Aron HaKodesh and I take what's important out of there. The Luchot, the Luchot, the Moshe Rabbeinu's Luchot. No,
The Ten Commandments.
the 10 Commandments I'm gonna take out of there with the broken pieces. Imagine you gotta hold that giant. You gotta take those broken pieces and the original Sefer Torah. Moshe Rabbeinu wrote. He wrote a Sefer Torah. That's in the last day of his life. He wrote Sefer Torah. But then he also wrote the original one, and Aaron HaKodesh he put. Then he wrote 13 to all the Shevatim, including Shevet. First he wrote for Levi. Then all the Shvatim came and said, "Oh, you have a special love for your Shevet, but you don't write for us." One Sefer Torah. No, come on.
That's
so
not fair.
on the last day of his life, it was Shabbat Kodesh. It was Shabbat, and he wrote the Sefer Torah. 13 Sefer Torah. Hashbat. Rambam says the Hashbat al Kulmuz. He had a pen in his hand. He said Shem Kodesh. It was writing by itself. Ladies.
On Shabbat?
On Shabbat
He did.
Kodesh.
Violating the Shabbat like that?
There was no Hilchot Derabanan.
No.
Let me answer. There was no Hilchot Derabanan. He was the Derabanan, right?
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
the halacha. He was the Derabanan. Halacha is back then only if you writing. Is he writing?
No.
Voice to text.
He's
Voice
just
to text.
holy.
I'm not gonna turn on the TV. I'm gonna take the paper.
No, you're not Moshe Rabbeinu. Don't get it over there.
Wait, what ended up
But then, whatever happened, Shaul HaMelech came. He gave Goliath one, you know what, shapaloch, one yagda, strach, and Hashem gave him the power in his hands. Even though Shaul was smaller than him, in his hands had the power of 700 men.
Kafa.
700 men. He gave them one kafa. He lost himself. He took the luchot out of there, and he got out of there. Hashem said, "This guy over here has the desire to save my Sefer Torah, my luchot, Melech al Yisrael, first king over Klal Yisrael. He became the first king of it." But the Chachamim say it was really more than that. The reason why he was the first king of Klal Yisrael, why? Pachimu. His wife, David Shaul HaMelech's wife, he wasn't supposed to get married. He didn't have a bat zug. That's why his son couldn't be king. Because if you marry a woman that's not your real bat zug, your son cannot be king.
He had 18 wives, no?
That's Shlomo.
Shlomo had 1,000.
Shaul had
He was the smartest guy.
Shlomo had 300 wives and 700 pilakshim. David had 18
How many
wives.
Shaul?
Shaul, all we know is one. He was very machmir. Shaul was very machmir.
Wow, the first king had one
The
wife?
first king had
Where
one
did the
wife.
tradition of 18, 300,
The halakha is you're allowed to have 18, but he was machmir. He didn't need any wives. He was learning Torah all day. What he needs wives? What is he gonna do over there? There's no time for that.
So it's not his bazooka?
It was not his real bazuk. Why?
When he understand.
He understood because his wife asked him to marry him.
She said, who you marry? American style.
American style, yeah. Man b'shemo zog badana. This is not considered real badzuk. Badzuk, that's why Yitzhak.
Hey. So if a girl asks a man to marry,
That means you're losing your. You need your. You want that?
Then you can blame her for marrying you.
You go. It's your fault. Who's gonna write the thing? Alright, the
What's that with Adam and Eve, the forbidden fruit?
If you haven't realized, when we speak, we just speak. Whatever comes out, comes out. Don't worry about Adam and Eve. We're gonna get back to him right now. So Adam Arishon. So Shaul HaMelech, when Yonatan, his son was Yonatan, Yehonatan, he was very big tzaddik. When he saw David HaMelech won in the Goliath, he took his jomeh off his back and he put it on David. Shaul HaMelech saw that and he got so upset over that. Why?
Learned all the time.
Yeah.
Because he knows that's it, his son.
He knows because if his son had anava. The Gemara says 3 men were big anava. They had a lot of anava.
What's anava?
Anava is humbleness. Humble. They knew how to put their head in. Humbleness is not what we think it is. I have to break always kalacham, let everybody walk all over. It's not what anava is. Anava is a true anava, is when you know how to give up. When you know how to give up. That's true anava. First one is Yonatan. Moshe Rabbeinu, yes. Moshe Rabbeinu is Moshe Rabbeinu. Anava. What's Anava? Yonatan saw God. He won. Right away, he put his Joman David. He said, I'm second to you. Really, the Zohar HaKadosh says, Yonatan was from the Sphira of Tiferet. Tiferet, it's the beauty. It's the trunk. David was the Malchut. Malchut is the queen, yeah. That Tiferet always looks to connect to the Malchut. They always want to connect. Like Yaakov and Rachel. That's why he didn't love Leah. Leah is Da'at. Da'at. It's high, but Tiferet doesn't want Da'at. Tiferet wants Malchut. Da'at is the tefillin. It's in the back of the head. That's the Da'at. But it's high, but it's in the back. Tiferet wants the Malchut. It wants the Brit. It's a lower level. It's not about lower level. It's about what do you connect with. You understand what I'm saying? If a person will have 2 options right now. Should I marry this woman who's very beautiful And he has this woman, she's not that beautiful, but she's a tzaddik. Who's he going to choose?
Beautiful.
Exactly. That's exactly your answer to your question. That's what I'm saying. So let's go back to what we were saying. So Shaul HaMelech, when Yonatan,
Then we
give me an autograph. If that's the truth, then give me the autograph. So when Shaul HaMelech, when Yonatan when he got upset at Yonatan, why? Yonatan wanted to give the kingship to David. He called him Ben Navat HaMardut. Do you know that Ben Navat HaMardut? Moredet. That means a woman that's rebellious. The Rashi explains Yonatan's mom was a Moredet, was a Chatzufa, because she asked Shaul to marry her. You understand what I'm saying? Chatzufa. Yeah, she's very brazen. A woman has to be... There is Bochai. A woman has to be a little bit, feminine. She has to be feminine. That's exactly, now we're connecting it to Adam and Chava. That's what Chava did. She asked Adam, Yalla, let's go. That pegam cost Cain, who was David HaMelech. He's the Neshorishim of David HaMelech, to come out like this. Red, he was angry. He killed his brother after talking to God. That means when you talk to God, it's not like I'm talking to you. When you talk to God, you know how it feels like? Lahavdil elef havdalot. It's like all the highs in the world.
In one.
It's so much that the body wants to just disconnect from the body. And right after that, he kills his brother. Okay. Just to understand, what was the sin of Hava? Now, why did Adam Harishon, what was his Avera that he had to fall like this?
He accepted.
Why did he accept?
Because she kept yelling and he was too...
She was a yeller, yeah, she did, yeah. But you know why?
Shalom Bayit.
Here is a lesson that a person has to know, a lesson for your whole life. This lesson is the tikkun of everything. Never ask for a test in life. Adam Harishon wanted to be tested. L'shem Shamayim. I'm going to go down into the klipa to be tested. David HaMelech too. David HaMelech was different a bit though. That's why he fell. David HaMelech also fell. With Bathsheba. But David HaMelech was a different reason why Hashem didn't judge him as much.
Well, he's not Adam Harishon.
David?
But he gave his life. Adam gave his life.
He was connected to Adam because he gave him 70 years. He was very much connected.
He was not
there.
And he asked for the same test
and he sent for the same test again, and he still fell again. But still, when a person should never ask to be tested in life, how do we know that in Tefillah? What do we say in Tefillah? We shouldn't come out for lidei nisayon velo lidei bizayon. Because when you get to the nisayon, what's going to happen afterwards? You're going to have a bizayon.
I learned today that Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai.
Wait, when did you learn it?
Rabbi Elazar.
He asked to have a isurim on him with the 60 sheets. He asked to have a skin disease on him. No?
Who?
Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai.
Rabbi Elazar ben Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai.
Prove that it's not wrong to be a shoter.
Yeah.
So why he asked for isurim?
No, the story over there was a bit different. Rabbi Elazar ben Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, he was always asking for Yisurim from Hashem.
Right.
Yisurim. How Yisurim? He always asked for affliction. Like we say, Hey Lachmaniya, this is the bread of affliction. But his affliction, we cannot even come to the toenail, the nail that was cut off from the toenail. Why? You have to understand that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and his son was spent 13 years in a cave in sand.
No food. What is that even supposed to mean? No food or nothing.
Something that we can't comprehend. That means he went through... That's why if you say, he wrote the Zohar HaKadosh, by the way, whoever reads every day pages of the Zohar HaKadosh, couple of pages, is Sigula Nifla Lekol HaBrachot. Sigula Nifla Lekol HaBrachot. Even, it's exactly what you should know, because the truth is, even the Torah, the truth, you don't know what you're reading. We think we know what we're reading. By the way, before I'm going to answer your question, I want to say one thing. Whoever does a chesed to someone, HaKadosh Baruch Hu pays that person's back. I want to tell you guys a story. It's a true story. And it has to do with a Brit Yitzhak, by the way. It has to do with a Brit Yitzhak. There was a person who didn't have a minyan for a Brit Yitzhak. But what? That was. And in Eretz Yisrael. in Eretz Israel, and this was written in Alion Shaber. This story is written by Yitzhak Zilberstein. You guys know Pfizer, the thing vaccine. I'm pro vaccine, by the way. I'm pro. Okay. And the head of the vaccine is the CEO, Albert Burla. He's a Spanish Jew. He's Jewish. How did the Israelis get the vaccine first?
They stole it from the Russians.
They have their own vaccine, by the way. Sputnik, it's called. Benjamin Netanyahu called a guy 30 times. The Prime Minister, Albert Burla, I called him 30 times. 30 times. I need that. Read that. He said, this guy was so crazy. I said, I might as well pick up the phone on him. That means the head of the pharmaceutical companies are more powerful than the heads of states. He says, when I saw he's Jewish, by the way. When I saw he was so incessant, he was so sincere, he was so obsessive over getting it, I had to give it to him. I had to give him a priority. That's how we got the fight. We can't believe in conspiracy theories. The consistent, exactly. In Torah, you need consistency. In Judaism, you need consistency. When you're consistent, you get what you want. That's what Sfirat HaOmer is. The consistency of 49 days of saying a bracha day after day, 49 days. Anyways, I don't want to digress. So in Eretz Israel, there was a guy who didn't have a minyan for the Yitzhak, and then from the shul came 10 guys. 10 guys came, and then that year, all of those 10 guys had baby boys.
I'm too old.
All of them. So I say this is a segula for a person who wants to get married. Why? How are you gonna have a baby boy if you're not married? That means first you have to get married, it's a double segula, and then you're gonna have the baby boy. Therefore, I will tell you, it's a true story. Yitzhak Zilberstein writes it in Dvul Gadaev. I'm gonna tell you another story. It says, by the matzot tochelu, you have to eat the matzot. What was one of the sigulot that Kadosh Baruch Hu gave us by the matzot? What was one of the sigulot? One of the brachot, one of the sigulot. I want to tell you guys one thing. The Torah says, Ele moadei Hashem asher tikru otam. These are the moadim of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Why does HaKadosh Baruch Hu put Shabbat and then he puts all the holidays? Shabbat is not a holiday. Shabbat is Shabbat. It's above holidays. To teach us one who transgresses the Shabbat, it's as if one who transgresses the Moadim, Pesach, Shavuot, Sukkot, it's as if he transgressed the Shabbat Kodesh. That's how important it is. Rashi says it. That's how important it is. Shabbat and the Moadim. Tomorrow, you see, I'm still wearing my Chag clothes.
Me too.
My Rebbe, he was my Rebbe. He was
his Hag clothes, Hagim.
Kol hakavod. It would fit in an Israeli shul. My Rebbe in high school, Rabbi Hachman, he was. Hashem should. Hachberg. He should give him long life. He's in 90s at least. He's still alive? He's still alive. He always used to say to us a very special thing. Praise. He used to say, there is enough room in Gehenom for everyone. That's what he used to tell us. And once Rabbi Ovadia Yosef was giving a shiur, and he was very against wigs. And the Rebbe, and one student was a smart aleck. You know one of those smart alecks? He said, how come your daughter-in-laws wear wigs? Ovadia Yosef looked at him straight in the eye. So there's enough room in Gehenom for her too. Don't worry about it. What did you think? There's no ahavabes when it comes to Torah. So anyways, what I wanted to say, a person has to understand when it comes to the Moadim, Hashem gave us the Moed to learn Torah. To learn Torah, to do mitzvot, whoever doesn't work in the Moed, guaranteed bracha v'aslacha.
There's no learning. It's ben azman. What are you supposed to do?
Come to the farm with me with my wife tomorrow. We're gonna learn on the way. We're gonna be kind. We're gonna have a bottle of Louis over there. Everything is gonna be good with the goats, the donkeys, and everything. By the way, in our shul, maybe you help us out. I know you come from the other side of Main Street over there.
Do they have
I didn't see you in the shiur though.
I was there.
You were there.
I took a shot and I left.
You took a shot in your life. That's how you were
That's
there.
why.
We need to do a mitzvah in our shul called Pidyon Peter Chamor.
Do you have donkeys on your side?
We need a donkey.
I'm one of them.
We need to buy it from a kohen. We need to trade it with a kohen. If you could find somebody who has a donkey, it will give us a lot of bracha v'hatzlacha this mitzvah.
Kohen has a donkey.
Anyway, we gotta buy you the kohen. We're gonna trade it. We're gonna give you a sheep.
Let's do it.
Good.
I
You need a
don't
donkey,
know.
bro.
I know, you have to break the donkey's back.
Nah, this is if you don't have that. If you don't have it. Anyways, I want to ask you guys a
You
question.
want to do a donkey?
How come we already talked to you about this? But I ever asked yourself a question? Pharaoh. This Rasha Merusha, this Gamad, this midget, this Rasha. This there like this. He was like this. He was this big. Like this big he was. Like this.
Yeah.
Like this big.
In
he
so much
was.
trouble.
Like this. Yeah, like this big he was.
Katanchik.
Moshe Rabbeinu was 15
This
feet
is
tall.
Midrash or is the Pshat?
What does it matter? It says over there, Horafi over there, It says over there, Moshe Rabbeinu, you ever wonder yourself, Moshe Rabbeinu, he's making himself to Paro, a whole spiel over there, We're gonna go for 3 days, we're gonna come back, we're gonna make a korban to our God. First of all, they didn't go for 3 days. They didn't make any korban, they didn't do nothing. Efes. Am I right or wrong? They didn't do nothing over there.
Did Hashem tell him to say that?
Oh, making the question even stronger right now. Bosh, I don't know. So how come Moshe Rabbeinu didn't just help up? Paro. Bosh, it's Solomat. Malamat. Something Malamat over there. Masgini. I don't want to say. Don't forget to say Krat Shema Lamita. Hello. So it says over there, you can have a visitor tonight. It says over there, why didn't Moshe say the truth? We're gonna go. We're taking your money. Selef diamond. And know what? He lied. Why? It says the Jews ve'ashilum. They said the Egyptians, can we borrow your car keys? Can we borrow your donkey, your cow, your this, that? Can we borrow it?
See that for a second?
Let me see that for a second. Yeah, let me see that for a second. No, we don't have it. Well, I don't know. We know. Everything is over there. This is the safe. This is the this and that.
The combination.
How come they didn't say the truth? How come Hashem told him to say like this? We're going for 3 days. And, if we come back, we come back. If we don't come back, we don't come back. No, what do you guys think? Help me out over here. Give me a little...
attached to help them better leave the place.
No strings attached.
Yeah, but still,
that's
why
why they should have said the truth. They should have said the truth. But Moshe said...
To hurt them more.
Like, give him another
Put
smack.
salt on the sword.
Salt on the wound. No, guys, what do you say? Give me a chaydos.
For now, Drocha, don't let it he didn't want to slap him right away. First he pat him, and then,
First he pat him, and then he smacked
The
him.
people who wanted to stay.
To trick the people who wanted to stay. That's a good answer, but there's a problem with that answer. In the 8th plague, all those guys who didn't want to stay, they went Laila Tov over there. What do you guys think? How are you, at the end over there? Any answers?
Mike knows the answer.
Arizal.
The answer, Rebbe Daftaya says like this. A very strong answer. It's a good question. Your wife is going to open the Tchumah. She's going to read. She's going to be like, hello. There's a contradiction over here. What is going on? The answer is like this. Hashem does everything midah keneged midah. A person has to understand one thing. The Egyptians, how did they start the whole thing? They took the firstborn boys and they threw them where? Daniel, where did they throw them? In the river.
Wow.
If the Jews would have just left like that, Hashem never leaves anyone without a balance. Everybody gets paid their balance. You threw them in the river. Who went to the river? Who was thrown? Boys or girls?
Boys.
Only boys. All boys. That's just firstborn. Second, third, all boys. Kol haben hayelot hayeora tashlichu. Throw them straight into the mine. Imagine taking a baby, 3-4 days old, and seeing him thrown into the river, Nile River, a hippopotamus over there, crocodile, everything we went over there. Hashem said, midah keneged midah. If these people did this to Klal Yisrael, just let them out right now. 10 plagues is not enough. 10 plagues was all midah keneged midah for other things. Where do I need to take them? To the Yam Suf. To the Sea of Reeds. Over there in the Sea of Reeds, like they used to trick Klal Yisrael, I'm going to trick them too. I'm going to get them over there, and over there I'm going to drown every single one of their men. Those men who threw the Jewish boys inside the river, inside the Nile River, now midah keneged midah, payback, Read of Taya says, now they're going to go inside the Mayim, and that's how Hashem pays everyone back, midah keneged midah. And this is not just a simple point. Also, Pesach is called Leil Shimurim. What is Leil Shimurim? What's Leil Shimurim? Light of the wire. Watch means night. That means a Jewish person is not allowed to get hurt in that night. Once in the time of Rabbi Chaim Vital, one Jew, he was walking up the stairs to get a bottle of wine. He slipped. Shateh he got. He broke his leg. The rest of his life he was Choloch. You know what Choloch is? On Pesach night. Oh, that's the kasha. How is it called Leil Shimurim? Shimurim means what? Hashem is watching us. How do you say Choloch in Hebrew? Piseach. How do you say the night? Pesach. If you don't keep the Pesach, what do you become? Piseach. If you don't keep Shabbat, what's Shabbat called? Oneg. What do you get? Nega. Oneg turns into nega. Nega tzarat.
What is nega?
Nega means skin problems. Skin, nega.
Skin problems, you become like a nigger.
Like a nigga. Video.
You're getting excited, you love my
Nigga.
Worse than that. Afflictions. Bodily afflictions.
Guys on the couch.
You don't keep Shabbat.
Rabbi, this was serious.
One time, Rabbi Yitzhak Zilberstein said, one guy came to him and he said the famous question, this is the question. How come my neighbor, he's a Rasha Merusha, he's driving Mercedes-Benz, Rolls Royce. What's the car today? What is it? What's the car? No, there's the car. What's the car?
The Nissan Rogue. It's
$500. You're killing me over here.
Okay.
Maybach. I never heard of that one. Maybach?
It's a Mercedes. It's a Mercedes.
It's a Mercedes. Roller. I know Bentley, Rolls Royce. We gotta get donkeys down. We gotta get some donkeys. We gotta get some donkeys down here. Anyway, how come all of his kids, Michal, they're all Mechalel Shabbat, they get accepted to all the yeshivot. How? I keep Shabbat, they don't accept my kid to yeshiva. And,
you said to us.
so,
Everybody will be
but this is a true story.
Not you, this other rabbi.
Ariel.
Shalom, you got 2 minutes.
So he says over there,
I'm sorry, guys. There was a mistake in the order.
It was not a mistake. It's supposed
All
to
of
be
a sudden, they said they don't have beef, and then
It's okay.
that's why it's the.
don't worry about it. Listen, I'm enjoying myself over here. Michael is enjoying himself over here. Everyone's enjoying himself. By the way, all the extra Torah is yours. There you go. He says today, but really, Michael, really, how come the guy is not keep Shabbat? He eats chametz on Pesach. Suddenly he goes interview yeshiva. All the doors open to him.
Because Hashem pays them here.
He drives over there. I don't know what he drives over there. He says Nissan Rogue. I don't know. He's going Nissan Rogue over there. Susita.
Tesla.
Tesla's good. It's good. It's very good. Only one. Oh, the only one. Susita. I want one of those Susitas.
No Fiat anymore.
It's Israeli car. It's Israeli car.
Super.
Of Zilberstein. He's Rav Chaim Kanevsky's Domot. Rav Chaim. He's Rav Chaim Kanevsky's Domot. He said, in my mouth came a little bit of Ruach HaKodesh. I said, maybe your Saset over there, he has ulcers in his stomach.
You want that?
You want that too with his Susita and his yeshivot? And he said he didn't know, but really that guy's neighbor was suffering from a hole in his stomach. What's worth to have Susita, Shmusita, Mamacita? But if you have a hole in your stomach, imagine a person walks his whole life, he's missing a couple of fingers on his hands. But he has, Rolls Royce, this, that. Some people who they don't know what it feels like, they say, we want the money, we'll give up a couple. What would you give for an eye?
Priceless.
They think the grass is greener on the other side. They think the grass is greener.
I'd give my mamacita, get out of here. What would you give for a leg? Look at Donald Trump. President, billions of dollars, good kids, by the way. Chinuch Eladim, good kids, Jewish kid.
Good.
Still, the kavod, he can't get rid of it. He needs kavod. He can't live without kavod. It eats him inside. You sleep better at night than him. Be'emet. You sleep better at night than him. So what's the point of all these things if we don't have any yishuv hadat? I want to let you know what the Gemara says. Whoever has good kids in his life, he has to make every day bracha to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Why? A person who has bad kids, chas v'shalom, it's worse than Gog u'Magog. Wow. He rather live through Gog u'Magog
Then have bad kids.
than have chas v'shalom tarbut ra. Nalivai, l'chaim.